Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Weekly Minis. My name is Carolyn, and I'm your host. As you know, each week we deliver a bite-sized workshop on hot acro-related topics. We're thrilled that you're here now with us wherever you are. You can also reference all of the previous Weekly Mini topics and more amazing content on our Acrobatic Arts channel on YouTube. So hit subscribe. I'll put a link in the comments as we go. We don't want you to miss a hot second of content and info that will help you. That's why we're here. Speaking of the comment section, if you have questions today while we're live, drop them in there and we'll do our best to address those at the end of the presentation. And if you know someone who would benefit from hearing about today's topic, be a friend, click share, and post on it right now and let them know. Okay, so on to today's topic. Acrobatic Arts, what's new for 2022? And we are so fortunate to have our CEO and founder, Mandy Yip, here to tell us more. But first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Mandy. If you don't already know, she is the creator, founder, CEO of Acrobatic Arts Certification Program and Syllabus, and is considered an expert in the art of acro dance. She currently manages the Acrobatic Arts program in thousands of dance studios, following the curriculum throughout Canada, US, Australia, the UK, and 30 other countries. As the past owner of a highly successful dance studio, and I think this is so incredibly important, she understands the demands for an exceptional product and a well-trained dance teaching staff in the studio. She has collaborated with the likes of Cirque du Soleil to create unique learning experiences for certified acrobatic arts teachers and their students. She's highly sought after for clinics, workshops, and all over the globe. And she's known for bringing passion, technique, and in-depth practical knowledge to engaging classes, which directly feeds into how you experience the world of acrobatic arts, which is why we're so thrilled that she's here today. Good morning, Mandy.
Good morning, Carolyn. So glad to be here. Happy 2022.
Happy 2022. So great to see you this morning. We have lots to talk about, so let's not waste a hot second here. But before we talk about 2022, can you give us a bit of a recap? What was new for Acrobatic Arts in 2021?
We had an amazing year in 2021. I know that the world was kind of shut down, but it gave an opportunity for our staff and our people to get together and create some really brilliant things. So I would love to just share a few. Do we have a few minutes to share just a few things that we did in 2021?
I think that would be a great place to start before talking about 2022. Let's lay the foundation out.
Fantastic. So we launched 3 different apps in 2021. I'm going to share my screen with you and show you what we did. So there's my boys. And here's our apps. So this new app launched just at the very end of 2020. So it was really 2022 when it came into fruition for us. And it's been so exciting to see how teachers have been able to use this program. It's called the Acro Dance Resource Center. It has everything that we know how to do all in one place. So it is an immense resource of everything acro. I'm just going to show you around a few quick places. So if you click on the syllabus, you're going to be able to click by level and view our curriculum by any of the levels in here. So I'm going to click on level 7 here and show you these are the 28 skills in level 7. And if I want to click on one of those skills and watch a dancer actually perform that, I can download that skill and have her show me that video. And I can also read a little bit here while it's downloading about the focus of that skill, what the previous progressions are for that skill, and any exam notes that I might be interested in learning about. So I'm just going to show you how the previous progressions work. If I click here on backwards roll, it'll take me to that backwards roll, and I can actually watch a video of a dancer doing that skill. And then I can go back forward into that extension roll. And it's just finishing downloading now. So if I click on it here, I can watch this dancer do the back extension roll. We can see the whole thing and see how those skills actually work together to create something that's much more difficult with all of the previous progressions. And what's so cool about previous progressions on the Resource Center is they'll take you right back to basically just sitting on the floor and doing nothing. And then you can work them forward. So if you have a dancer who's maybe a little bit weaker in your class, you can use that by going backwards. And then if you have dancers that maybe are a little bit stronger, you can use it going forward. So that's a really awesome tool.
Mandy, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I also noticed, or I know that you can also slow those videos down. Is that correct? You can actually...
Yeah, exactly. So I can click on that same dancer. Let's see if I can find her again here. That back.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Here she is. And I can slow her down so that I can see the technique a little bit more clearly. I can also zoom in and see, where her hand placement is, what her shoulder placement's
Oh,
like.
wow.
So that is a really great tool for teachers, especially if they're new to acro. I love this part called Assist Student because teachers can actually give their dancers access to their level so that they can see what they're supposed to be working on their own iPhone at home. And what dancer doesn't have their own phone or iPad at home that they could be practicing on? So this part actually works in conjunction with another app that we have, which is called My Acro app, and it's for dancers. And the dancer will get levels put onto their app by their teacher based on the level that they're working on. And the teacher can actually charge for this. And by doing that, they can recoup the money that they are spending on this resource center. So it's actually a win-win. And we have some teachers that are really entrepreneurial with this and are making really good money, actually making more money selling the resource center to their dancers than they are teaching. So that's a really awesome thing. And if you haven't already looked into that, we do have a whole weekly mini about that. So definitely check that out. It's on our YouTube page. So that is one of the things, and I mean, that's just a tiny snippet of the amazing information that you can find on the Resource Center. In addition to launching the Acrodance Resource Center, we also launched something called Aerial Arts, and we have an app for that too. So here is the Aerial Arts app. You can see it's set up the same way as the other one. And if I click on syllabus and I click on a level, I'll see the things that are required for each of these levels in the aerial syllabus. And then just like the other one, I can click on a skill. I can play that dancer doing the skill. I can zoom in on her really closely and see what her hand placement's supposed to be like, where are her thumbs, where are her fingers. I can slow that down, and I can also use the next and previous progressions in this to see what they're going to be working on throughout the aerial syllabus. So again, for teachers who are new to a system like this is an invaluable tool. And then just recently, at the very end of 2021, we launched something brand new called Baton Arts. So keeping in line with our circus family, this is really near and dear to my heart because I started out as baton twirler, and I know, Carolyn, you did too. Actually, for those of you who are listening who don't know, Carolyn is a world champion baton twirler. She won in, okay, I'm going to see if I can get this right, Carolyn.
Okay.
I'm going to say 90.
I think it was 89.
89. Okay, still, I was
San Antonio, Texas. Yeah.
San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think it's probably on YouTube. Could we YouTube you, Carolyn, and find your freestyle?
Only if it's a good one.
I bet you could. I bet you if you YouTube Carolyn Day, that's her maiden name, you'll find Carolyn twirling baton.
You're so sweet. Enough about me. Anyway, Baton Arts.
This is our Baton Arts app, and again, it's set up the same way, so you can view all of our categories and levels, and you can click on things, and you can watch twirlers perform the skills that are required for the baton twirling syllabus, and you can click on previous and next progressions and learn a little bit about the focus. And for those of you who maybe have never experienced baton twirling, it is a really cool and interesting thing, a really cool, interesting sport. It really combines the acrobatics with the dancing. So for kids that are in dance studios, this might be another thing that you could add to your dance studio. So there's a little dancer doing her flourishes. So those apps all went live in 2021. Again, Baton Arts just at the very, very end, but still we're excited about that happening. So that has been, it has been really cool for us to have those things go out and then see how the teachers are using that work in their studios and how the dancers are progressing so brilliantly with that work.
Well, it makes so much sense because I think, and we see this a lot in our Facebook groups and other resources that we also have at Acrobatic Arts for our certified teachers is questions on how to, and there's that great resource and call to action to go back to where those things live fundamentally that have been created and packaged for this exact purpose in helping to take people step by step, taking out some of that guesswork and making teachers' jobs really, not that they're not not to make them, well, make them easier. That's our goal, right? That's to
Yeah.
make it a place where people can come to and feel empowered, go into the classroom and help their students and families feel successful. So what great resources. They're truly, truly amazing. Okay, so are you ready for some questions, or did you have anything else that you wanted to cover?
Let's answer questions, and then we'll see if something doesn't get covered. I'll answer it at the end.
Okay, so if anybody has questions while you're watching right now live, you can put those in the chat as we've discussed, or the comment section. Well, I asked Mandy some questions that came in on social media this last week while we were promoting her being here. So first question, I'm just gonna pull this over here. What age do you have to be to get acrobatic arts certified? This is from Bryn.
Sure. Hi, Bryn. Thanks for sending in your question. So to become certified with us, you have to be 18 years old. That's when you can take our Module 1 certification program and actually learn the material and take that syllabus back to your studio and be teaching live in studio with kids. However, we were able to launch last year with the help of our good friend Sarah Reese, who's a staff member and a brilliant educator, a program called the Assistant Teacher Program. So through this program, dancers who are 12 to 17 years old can work through our programming and see a amazing program online where they go through an online study and they watch video and compare things and learn about the body, learn about the muscles, learn about how the anatomy works, learn about the biomechanics of acrobatics, see what not to do, what to do, how to spot things, and then also work through a workbook with their certified teacher who would be their mentor and become assistant teacher certified so that they can assist classes safely in their studio. It is a really fantastic program with so much great information in it, and I know that teachers and students will love getting involved in that. It's also a great way for a studio to get another class on the register, so get those kids in. Becoming an assistant teacher is something that lots of parents will pay money to have happen, and in addition to that, you get to have that dancer in your classroom assisting you all year long, because that's one of the requirements, is that they are actually doing the assisting. So it's a win-win all around, and I just really love that program.
That's what I was going to say when you were talking. It really does feel like a win-win opportunity for students or young people building up their own work experience, volunteer experience, doing something that they're passionate about, and also having a foundational course that supports them in that gives them credibility, and it gives that back to the studio as well, that they're looking to make sure that their assistants are well trained and well versed. So I think that's
Absolutely.
super powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, and a big part of that program is also just in leadership. So whether they end up being a dance teacher or any other profession, those lessons that they learn in leadership are going to carry through with them for the rest of their lives. So I just think it's an invaluable thing to invest in our kids and getting them into a position where they're leading the next generation up.
Right. And then that lead into module 1 when they're 18. So there's that stepping stone that's been created for them. Like you said, though, whether or not they choose to move forward, they have something that supports them where they're at the time and the age that they're at. Okay. Exactly. Awesome. Exciting. I'm excited about that program. Now I have a question from Penny from Melbourne. She says, our acro teacher has been teaching acro for years at our studio, not the acrobatic arts syllabus. Why would we change gears now? Does that make sense?
Great question. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Penny. Nice to meet you. So I think I owned a studio too. I owned a studio for 10 years. And I like to run syllabus in my studio for a whole bunch of reasons. And at the time, there was no acro syllabus, which is one of the reasons why this was created. But what's great about running a syllabus is that it's created by experts in the field. So I can tell you that Acrobatic Arts has over 100 different experts that have given information into making it what it is right now. So no matter how amazing your acro teacher is, it's unlikely that they have that diverse of a background in creating the work that they're putting forward for the students that they're working with. So at a very minimum, the work is going to be more well researched by a company like Acrobatic Arts. And I can tell you, our work is very well researched. So that's one part of it. The other piece, I think, to the puzzle is having the syllabus, the work, the programming be the star of the show rather than the teacher. And I know we love our teachers, and it's awesome when the teacher can really shine in your studio. But as a studio owner and as a person who knows hundreds and thousands of studio owners, I know that teachers leave for a whole bunch of reasons. Teachers leave because a parent gets sick and they need to take care of them, or because they retire. Teachers leave because they don't like the way you're running things, and then they take a whole bunch of kids with them. But if you can make the syllabus the star of the show, so that the acrobatic arts program is what the kids and the parents are buying into and not the teacher, then if that teacher has to leave for some reason, you can swap another teacher in who is also certified and can keep working and teaching the same work. And that just gives everyone a sense of relief. It makes the parent feel more secure, it makes the dancer feel like there's continuity in their training, and it helps you as a studio owner feel like your programming is not going to go kaplooey if you lose that teacher.
Interesting, because when you were talking, Mandy, what I thought about was that conversation I had with Kate about exams, and just that reinforcement year over year that builds trust, credibility, a platform, a stable curriculum that we expect in school. So why wouldn't we expect that in dance? It gives the students and everybody involved a part to play in that, and leads your students towards a destination with their learning as well. So sorry.
Absolutely.
Okay, so awesome on that. We've been in and out of lockdown, and our dancers are feeling unmotivated. I'm sure this is a common question. So we've been in and out of lockdown, and our dancers are feeling unmotivated. They feel like they don't want to get their hopes up for competition. We are all feeling it. Do you have any suggestions? This is from Bree from Ontario.
Hi, Bree. Oh, Ontario. I'm feeling for you. I know that you guys are all locked down right now, and even if your state or your province is not currently in lockdown, I know that there's disruption in the lessons, because for our studio, even the kids have, there's been an outbreak, so then all the kids are back online for a few weeks and they're back. And, it just feels like you can't really hold on to anything. Like everything's sort of up in the air all the time. And I know how frustrating that is. And yes, I do have a really great solution to that problem. So what we've been able to do in my studio, and I know lots of other studios around the world have done this too, is when we are on lockdown, and even in the studio to some extent, we're training for exams, because training for exams is something that you can do very effectively and efficiently in an online situation. So just like I was showing you before, and I'll show you again in case you're just joining us now, I can bring up my resource center on my phone, and I can share my screen with my students just like this on Zoom. Carolyn and I are on Zoom right now. And I can show the dancers what we're working on. So if we had a class full of level 5 kids, I would show them these are the skills that we're going to work on. We would work on them one at a time. I would be able to watch the dancers perform these skills and give them feedback on how they're doing, whether or not they have, their legs straight, their toes pointed. You can see that this is a platform that would work well for this kind of training. And the great thing about doing exams is if you do them in order and you follow the progressions, it's very safe to do online as well. And the other amazing thing is that when they have perfected all of the 28 skills that are in their level, they can take an exam. And exams are something that we can run whether we're online or we're in person. So even if everything shuts down again and we can't do a competition, or even if your kids are just at home quarantining because they can't come into the dance studio, they can still take their exam. We do exams right here on Zoom. We'll put the dancers up 4 little boxes with our examiner, and the examiner will watch them do all of the work and effectively be able to evaluate them and reward them with their certificate, and if they earn it, their medal. And that has been something that's just kept some studios, the ones that really caught on to that early, going through this whole process, because there's been a carrot at the end of every term that the kids know is actually going to happen. No matter what else falls apart, even if they're at home in their living room, they can still take their exam. So I think that that's been a really great motivator. We use these little cards. These are our progress cards, and you can print them off of the resource center as well. I keep track of my dancers on these little cards and tick off the boxes when they've achieved each skill. And when they've got all of their skills, I even mail this out to the dancers so that they can have a record of the fact that they've achieved all of these things. Being able to see and have something tangible that says, I did something this year is something that the kids are just so craving. Tell me I did something this year. Tell me that I'd made some progress. And so that is the beauty, I think, of exams and using a curriculum like this.
I'm a mom of a dancer, and I have to say, creating, yes, the carrot is without it, they're really free falling, and there's nothing to work for, and they've been so accustomed in their training to be working towards something, and when there's nothing to work for, unless they're really intrinsically motivated, it's really hard. So having, like you said, those visuals, keeping them on track with an end date and a goal, like an exam, those progress cards, like, so I think those things would have been incredibly valuable. So that comes from the mom's point of view, but I think that would be fantastic for those kids out there who are continuing to be off and on lockdown and don't have that end destination. Is you were speaking, Mandy, about online resources. Are there other resources you might suggest for anybody currently experiencing lockdown?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll share my screen one more time. And we created this great system, or sorry, this great resource center. Let me just pull it up one sec. Sorry about that. Thought I had it up. A really great resource center for teachers who are teaching on Zoom and on islands. So that's what we call these little boxes where you have to stay in a little box and stay on your own mat. We call that an acro island. So this page is a free resource center. We collaborated with some of our other friends at IDTS and Alexa Flexibility and More Than Just Great Dancing to give you a whole bunch of resources. Carolyn, would you be able to put that link into the comments for me?
Yeah.
Amazing. Done. So this is free. Just click on that link and you can watch videos. All of these videos will pop up here with great things that you can work on. All of this can be done on either islands or on Zoom. And again, you could just share this with your class and you could play this video and the dancers would be able to actually watch somebody showing them how to do that. That particular video would have taken you here to our YouTube page. I'm just going to spare you the commercial. So you can click on this video and you can watch Joey teaching how to teach a 540 jump, for example. The videos that are on this page have been curated to be things that you can do at home or in a small space. So that 540 jump probably wouldn't have been one of them. It would have been things like Valdez and handstand drills and kip-ups and rolling tinskas, things that you could do in your dance class at home or on an island without a teacher being there to actually spot you. So that's a great resource. Our YouTube page is also an amazing resource. So if you just want to go to our YouTube page and check that out, that's a great place to go. It's all free, of course, and we have tons and tons of tutorials on there, not to mention all of these weekly minis.
True story. I believe that our YouTube is uncharted territory. So we've got that all freshened and cleaned up. So if you haven't been there recently, go take a look and dive in. There's lots of great information there. It's all free. It's on YouTube. Add it to your class playlist. There's lots of good things there that can keep you refreshed, lots of ideas to keep you going. Now, speaking of ideas, I did put links to everything that you've mentioned so far in the comment section. So teachers, you can go ahead and add those to your repertoire, bookmark those. Okay, there is a question. Miss Michaela Dance asks, and I'm thinking this is about the app, are the partnering skills shareable through the level sharing process on the app? Does that make sense?
No, yeah, it does make sense. So no, the things that are shareable through the My Acro app program are all going to be things that are going to be specific to the dancer. So I'll just share that with you one more time and show you how that works. We have a ton of information on here for teachers. I'll just dive super quickly into that. So for example, all of these instructional videos, these are meant for teachers only, and I can click on this skill video and learn how to teach all of these different things. And when you click on these videos, you're going to get a little bit of a longer video with somebody actually explaining how to teach it, giving you some tips and information. In this example, it's me teaching it, and I'm going to show you things to watch out for as a teacher.
Right underneath her hips, that's exactly where we want them to be. Once you've mastered the front limber, it's time to start working on her.
So these things, of course, we don't want out for all of our dancers. And the same thing with many of the drills that you're going to find here in this category. So, you know, there are really difficult variations, and we wouldn't necessarily want to have those out for students to be trying at home without, you know, a professional in the room with them. But all of the work that is in their level, these are the things that you can share. So, for example, if I click on level 4, when you share level 4 with a dancer, they're going to see all of these level 4 skills and be able to click on them and view the work. I think what Michaela was referring to is our partnering category, which is amazing, by the way. These are all the partnering things that you could do with your kids. But this is not shareable with your students because, again, these are things that you would work on in the studio with your dancers when they're back to class. So right. Let me show you my favorite one of the day. I love lots of them, but this one is particularly cool.
Wow.
I think that's neat.
Wow. I could sit here and watch, like, it's just gobs, like just the amount of content, teaching examples, slowing it down, speeding it up, zooming. I mean, it just blows my mind, the amount of resources that are there. So you had talked about the weekly mini that you did really early on in our weekly mini canon. And anyway, I put the link in the comment section. If you aren't a member of the ADR, so you don't have the app, or you do, it'll be a great resource for you to really dive into everything that's there for you. Mandy, I don't have any other questions from any of the viewers. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on today?
I think that kind of wraps it up for us today, Carolyn. It's been super fun chatting with you.
I could talk to you for hours.
Yeah, I could talk about acro for like literally the entire day, and then we could keep going tomorrow.
But we could, but I don't think everybody would stay watching. So on that, we should probably wrap things up. But thank you so much, Mandy. And thank you, teachers, for joining us for this weekly mini. Join us next week where we get back to the studio with Jill Ford, who will be presenting her top 3 tips for front aerials. That's going to be a good one. You can learn more about acrobatic arts and our programs at acrobaticarts.com. Join us again next week. See you then. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Mandy. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.